because there was like 2 feet of snow, and I had shoveled it the day before, and the post office left me a thing that said if I didn't do it in like a couple hours, they were going to bill me.
They were going to bill you?
Yeah.
I didn't know they even did that.
All right. Good evening, guys. It's 6 o'clock. This is Brian Baylor, Village Administrator, and this is the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, April 15th, 2024. If everybody would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'm going to pull the recognition of guests up before the public hearing. We do have guests. I think this is the first time, at least, well, not since I've been here with the Planning Commission. Would you guys just...
we have had some.
Have you?
We had one about a fence. I remember that.
We had, what's his name over here?
Gully?
Yeah.
He was here too. There's been 3 or 4.
There's been a few.
If you could just introduce yourselves and tell us why you're here, that would be great.
I'm Krista Dillard and my son Jordan Dillard, and we're here interested in pre-annexing to Hannah City.
Okay.
I think we're on the agenda tonight.
Yeah, your property is. We actually have 3 tonight, which is a lot for us. Well, thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here, and feel free to speak up, or if you have any questions, or when we get to your property, if you have comments, feel free to chime in. With that, I would entertain a motion to enter into a public hearing.
I'll make a motion. We enter to a public hearing.
Okay, so I have a motion by McCoy.
I'll second it.
Second by Fulkerson. Let's roll call it. Lounsbury?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Fulkerson?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, we are in a public hearing. We have 3 applications. One of those applications has 3 different PIN numbers. In your packets, you've got 3 packets of information that outline each of those things. The first one is PIN 1612151002. This is a property owned by Rick and Miranda Lingenfelter, and it is located, if you basically go, it's been on your running route today, I think. Yeah. It was...
do theirs first so they
the public hearing, we can do the, once we get down to the voting part, we can do theirs first, unless you guys want to stay for the whole meeting. So you know the property I'm talking about. Do you know where Cindy Gill's owner lives?
Mm-hmm.
Just past that, just past Pinkerton, one of those houses right there on the left.
Cindy Smith.
Huh?
They have horses, don't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cindy does, yeah.
So that's the, and then it's being, there are one currently low density residential zoning, and that would not change.
Which one's this though?
Lingenfelter.
Do we have?
Where's that compared to Cindy? I lost.
It's probably down. It's probably 2 houses past Cindy's house.
Oh, okay.
There's a picture at the very back of the packet.
Dubit. Raymond Dubit lived. It's the next house.
So if you go past Pinkerton on the right, it's the second house on the left.
And you know, they built that barn way back.
Yeah.
It's the tri-level up front.
Yeah.
All of these have pictures in the back.
We have to go back 30 years. I'm going to know where we're at.
Yeah.
Maybe 40.
Yeah.
So I guess I would entertain at this point any comments or questions on the Lingenfelter property. Again, we're going to go through the findings of facts and the vote and all that, but we need to have a public hearing in case anybody has any issues or concerns with us possibly pre-annexing that property. All
We
right.
got one pre-annexed farther out than that, so.
We do, yeah. And like our criteria normally is, do we have line of sight to potentially annexing it in full someday, and or is there additional benefits to the village as a result of
that one's real close. I don't see why not.
Yeah, agreed. The next one then would be the Dillard property. Dennis and Krista Dillard. There are 3 PIN numbers: 1624-111, 1624-200-004, and 1624-200-005. Again, in the back of the packet, there are 3 different pictures. It's basically if you follow, go 116, turn right on Pinkerton, and then go down about to Smithville Road, right there, kind of on the corner. The 3 properties are right there.
Are they all one address?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This one's a different address.
This one's a little bit farther out, but when I looked at going down Pinkerton, and then I looked at other pre-annex properties that we had in the area, the pink ones over there, we already had some that were kind of out that direction, and so felt like we might be able to.
I've got 2 of these.
Did I give you 2?
I got Baylor.
I've got 2 Baylors. I don't have this.
Does anybody have? Oh, here, you can have mine.
Yeah.
Sorry about
You
that.
don't need Baylor.
So like I said, it's probably a little bit farther out, but there are some other properties around it that have been pre-annexed. So that was interesting. And then we would like to come out Pinkerton, and you don't have to get, if you get the homes, then all you have to do is pick up some additional farms in order to pull them in. So they are within the 1.5 mile radius. So. Any questions or comments or concerns on the 3 Dillard properties?
Have you got any construction plans of any kind?
Potentially.
Potentially, nothing started or anything, but eventually.
Okay.
We're basically, it's my parents' farm and we're having it resurveyed right now.
Okay.
So we were suggested that if we wanted to, eventually now would be a good time to apply to pre-annex.
Okay.
And there is the second address that was my parents' home. And I
Okay.
forgot, I was thinking they were all the same.
Yeah, no, I found them on the sheet.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I know where.
Was it Polhemus's property at one point?
No, it's past that a little bit.
Past that
Yeah,
meeting?
it's been Parr. My dad was Donald Parr.
Okay. And when you say past that, you mean closer towards like Bartonville?
Yes, towards
Okay.
Bartonville, not very far past the Polhemus where there's the little pond.
Yeah, I guess Pinkerton would they'd be to the right, you're to the left.
Yeah.
East.
If you come down Pinkerton, you turn left to go towards Bartonville, and then there's about 3 houses right there kind of in a row. Then there's a little, like a field, and then her dad's place, or whatever, Don's old place was there, and then there's a lane for her to go back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right, any
Around
questions?
here too long.
No, sir.
Some
Okay.
age.
Move on beyond that one? All right, so the next one I have to tell you, I have a conflict of interest. This is a property that is owned by my father. Actually, my mother passed almost 30 years ago, went into a trust. My dad now is the
I was gonna say, I see the name here tonight.
my dad is the administrator of the trust. This is a property, probably the best way to describe it is if you're going out 116 and you know where the box built those 2 homes right there before you, on the right-hand side, there's just 2 homes right there before you get to the water tower on the right-hand side. Yep. The farm behind it is my dad's, and then the farm kind of just across the road, catty corner to that is this property.
Oh, nice.
And the reason that he wants or we want to pre-annex this property is we are looking at putting in a 40-acre solar array.
Oh, cool.
We would lease to a solar company, and that's why we wanted to bring it into Hannah City. It would go under the community solar program.
Mm-hmm.
Community solar is the same thing that Gary Dooley was looking at right over here in this corner, and that's project still going too. But my understanding is, based upon what they tell me, is the energy that's produced would initially go to the area and potentially help reduce the cost of the Ameren bills for.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. And so we could eventually, if both these projects get done, we could have 2 pretty good sized solar farms. And this one, I think there's probably 1 home would be able to see it. There's probably 3 homes that are near it.
Is this does it have a physical address? Is there
It
a
does
property, a
not.
house on it?
There's
So
no,
it would just be
Dubit Road.
Jubit Road.
Yep. There is no. The only time I think we do have a barn over there that we do have a 911 address to, because
We used to have a shelter there.
yeah.
Years ago.
Oh yeah, you went down and fished that pond.
No, we had a cookout there.
Okay.
Your
Yeah.
grandpa, we had a cookout there.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
Prosper was still here. Oh, sure.
Any questions on that? Just, and again, for full disclosure, if we get to the point when we're voting on that, if you want me to leave, I can do that if that makes you uncomfortable. I will one day inherit this, half of it anyway, with my sister, and so I do have a conflict of interest and want to make sure that's clear. Any questions or comments on any of the 3? You guys have anything more? Okay. I would entertain a motion to close then the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we got a motion by Johnson. Do I have a second? Second by Lounsbury. Let's roll call it. Johnson.
Yes.
Fulkerson.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Lounsbury.
Yes.
We are out of public hearing. Next, you should have in your packet a copy of the Planning Commission minutes from our last meeting. Thank you, Denise, for putting those together. Read through them and see if there's anything that you want to change. If not, I will entertain a motion when anybody's ready to approve the minutes as written or amended.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
All right, motion from Johnson. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by McCoy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we will jump to the Dillard property. That way you guys don't have to sit around while we go through the other 2. So in your packet, you should have, hopefully, if I didn't mess it up, you should have a findings of fact 2-page document for this property, as well as an annexing and zoning recommendation sheet for this property. So there should be 3 pieces of paper. We'll go through the findings of fact first. Are there existing uses of other property within the general area of the subject property similar in nature to those in the newly sought zoning classification, which is ag? And I think the answer to that is yes. Correct. By the way, I'll use mine as the master, and then you guys can sign it. Are there recent trends in land use development in the general area toward uses similar in nature to those in the newly sought zoning classification? Again, I think it's ag, and I don't think anybody around it is going to not be ag. Are there conditions which render the subject property less desirable or inappropriate for other zoning classifications in the zoning ordinance beside the zoning classification sought here? I believe the answer to that is no. Are there other areas already zoned for the use to which the subject property is currently zoned?
Yes.
Yes. Does the zoning change serve the public interest? It's really not a change, it's the same, so I would think it's fine, yes. Is the zoning consistent with the comprehensive plan? Yes, that's true. Today is the 15th, tax day,
Tax day.
of April 2024. At this point, I would entertain a motion to approve the findings of fact for this property.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fulkerson. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Lounsbury. Let's roll call it. Fulkerson.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Lounsbury.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
All right. The next page then is the recommendation that we would pre-annex this property and zone it ag as of today's date, 4/15/2024. I'd entertain a motion to make a recommendation to the Village of Hannah City Board of Trustees to pre-annex the 109 or the 3 pin numbers on this sheet as well as zone it at. Anyone want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Johnson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by McCoy. Let's roll call it. McCoy.
Yes.
Lounsbury.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Fulkerson.
Yes.
Approved. Okay, so I'm going to send this document around. I need you to sign your name on the second page. Huh?
That page.
Now this one needs it too, I think.
Both of them?
Yeah, 'cause it's got the
Yeah, you guys are both together on this one.
Yeah, so this is for change. Yeah, so the second and third sheets both need to be signed. Signed and dated. Actually, one of you can date it, it's fine.
It's already dated.
Oh, okay. Good. Easy peasy.
Thank you so much.
You bet. It'll go to the board tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what does that mean, going to the board?
So the board will take the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. I would be surprised if they didn't follow suit, but I guess it's possible they had the in-say as to
Okay.
whether or not it will be approved.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, and it was very interesting observing what you do.
Now talk to all your neighbors for us to make them come up and get here sooner.
Okay.
Especially if they're coming towards us, because we want to get them all connected.
Yeah,
We need to get them all connected.
So the sooner we can get them connected, the sooner you can get in.
We'll start
Full
going
annex.
door to door.
Full
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty great. You need to
Thank you so much.
tell off all your neighbors and stuff.
Alrighty.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we will do the Lingenfelter property, 1612-151-002. Are there existing uses of property within the general area of the subject property similar in nature to those in the newly sought zoning classifications as R1? If the answer to that is yes. Are there recent trends in land development in general? I think that one is also yes. Are there conditions which render the subject property less desirable or inappropriate for other zoning? That's no. Anybody disagrees with me, holler. Are there other areas already zoned for use? Yes. Does the zoning change serve the public interest? Yes.
I'm actually really surprised this one wasn't already pre-annexed.
Yeah,
This is close.
it is.
How are all those back there? Like, is this the only one that wasn't, or were multiples not?
We'd have to look on there to see.
I mean, this is baseball throwing distance from the sign.
Yeah, it is. Part of the problem is we have that field
Yeah.
right there, and it's the
Swanson Estate.
yeah, it's the fields that we have difficulty getting to pre-annex, because if they're not building anything,
They don't care.
they don't care. Why pre-annex and take the chance that they'd eventually be fully annexed in and have to take on the additional property tax? Yeah.
That's surprising.
Is the zoning classification with the comprehensive plan? That would be yes. Today is 15th day of April. I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Findings of facts, Fulkerson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McCoy seconds. Let's vote. I think I did you first last time, so Lounsbury would be first this time.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Fulkerson.
Yeah.
McCoy. All right. Approved. Then we are going to make a recommendation to the Village of Hannah City Board of
I'll make
Directors.
that recommendation.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Lounsbury second. So Johnson.
Yeah.
Fulkerson.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Lounsbury.
Yes.
Approved. Signatures away.
They had a beautiful
Who seconded
property.
that?
Hmm?
Who was the second on that?
I
Was it
think it
you?
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that three
And was
parcel
it-
one, that's a beautiful property.
Is it?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always see deer over there, and I've seen turkeys in that field, and I think they have a little creek over there too. It's a gorgeous property.
I think that pen works better like that.
The next is the Baylor property. Would you guys be more comfortable if I left? And
No.
Okay.
Spoiler.
We don't have anybody to
Spoiler
talk.
on it, yes.
Now we got to
want
say
you here
it,
when
say
we
it.
blame you.
Yeah.
Way to go.
No, that's fine. That's.
Did McCoy?
He made the motion in the last one.
I got it right. I just was like, I'm just.
Thank you.
All right, so this is the Baylor Trust property, pin 1718-100-005. Are there existing uses of other property within the general area of the subject property? So I guess there's no solar arrays there, but it is being zoned ag. So I still think the answer is yes, unless you guys disagree. Are there trends in land use development generally towards a similar nature to those in the newly sought zoning ordinance classification?
There's actually another wind farm not that far away, so it would be.
So you say yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Are
the
there-
one on county.
Oh, that's right.
Kevin Lane, yeah.
Are there conditions which render the subject property less desirable and appropriate? No. Are there other areas already zoned for the use to which the subject property is currently zoned?
I'd say yes to that.
Does the zoning change serve the public interest?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is the zoning consistent with the comprehensive plan?
Yes.
This day, the 15th of April. I entertain a motion to approve the findings of fact for this property.
I'll make it.
Motion by Fulkerson,
I'll second it.
second by Johnson. Round table, Fulkerson.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Lounsbury.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, you need-
Approved.
Who made the motion?
Fulkerson. McCoy, seconded.
No.
Thought Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. Johnson.
We're taking turns.
I've been called
Okay.
worse.
All right, so do we want to make a recommendation to the Village Hampton City Board?
I'll second it. Who's gonna make it?
Who's going to make this motion? To make this
I'll make
recommendation?
it. I'll make it.
Johnson makes the recommendation. McCoy seconds it. Round table, Boyer. I think McCoy's first.
Yeah.
Motion was only second.
McCoy, yes. Lounsbury.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Fulkerson.
Yes.
Signatures, please.
How's your dad doing?
He's good. Yeah. He has trouble getting around a little bit, but walking. But other than that,
Well, this goes along with this old age.
he's 84. I tell people all the time, I can't go anywhere without somebody telling me, "Are you Dick Baylor's son?" Yep. And your dad's the nicest guy ever. And I thank him, and then I quickly remind him that it skips a generation.
Yeah. 84. Man, you're a lucky duck.
Fall too far from the tree. You gotta be good too then.
I don't know about that.
I'm right on his tail.
Yeah.
I'll be 83.
I think he'll
Well, I'm 30, going on 33, so.
Oh, wow. He's 33.
I got you doubled as plus.
Yo.
I used to work with the guys. I got shoes older than
Yeah,
you.
he's 66 again.
Well, that concludes our business. Does anybody have anything else that
We
needs
have to approve the meeting minutes from last week, right? Did we ever do that? I don't.
We approved the minutes.
Did we approve? Okay, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I thought we missed it when we went out of order.
You made the motion.
Oh, I did make that motion. You are correct.
Well, I check. I mean, if somebody comes up, I'd love to have another person if we could, or two. I think we could have two more.
Yeah, I think we was up to 7.
But I checked with the attorneys, and they
I
said
think I'm
we've
getting
got.
to the age where you need to replace me.
Well, I mean, if you feel like you want to get and move on, I mean, I don't want anybody to move on, but
Well, I'll stay until you.
okay, I can start looking for some other folks.
What are you shaking your head for?
You can just hang right in here. You only got one way out, but and you're not ready for that.
No. Not yet, anyway.
Well, if you know of anybody, send me their name. I have one name that might be interested.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
How many do we usually have?
Well, we were running with 5 before, and I
We
think
had 7 though. There's
Seven,
time, we had
time.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think 6 is perfect.
What do you need for a quorum?
Well, as long as if we have at least 4, we need the 3 of the 4 to have a quorum. So that's what the attorneys told me.
That's right, if you have 6, you only need 4 to have.
because I think the last meeting, there was only 3 of us here with me.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
How come Joe's not doing it anymore?
Pardon?
How come Joe's not doing it
I
anymore?
guess he quit, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
And he didn't say why.
Not in too good a shape.
Oh, really?
Well, I knew he was having
I haven't
problems.
seen him for quite a while.
I don't know of anything about any other annexations, but it's that time of year, so we may get other things that come up or variances. We may get permit variances, but I'll keep communicating with you.
Were you saying that trail's still going?
No, what I was saying is I think so I don't know how much we've talked about, but at one point they did this, what was it called? Can't remember the name that they called it. Basically, it made it so that if you were going to buy it, you had to buy the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
There was a name they called
Yeah.
it. They had to register it this way.
The
My under-
railroad's still on that?
Yes. My understanding is that has expired. So now it's possible that they could sell it piece by piece or portion by portion.
I thought they redid that.
Rail banking
Yeah,
is what it was called.
but I thought they redid.
They did it 1 year after it originally expired when we dropped out.
Mhm.
But this year, I think
They're not doing anything.
Yeah, I think it expired.
Would
So
that
in
really
theory,
be that much money? Just to do Hannah City, like that little, I mean, it'd be like a 2-mile strip. Would it be that much
Well,
money?
but we would have to buy the whole thing, and it was what, 20? Was
You had
it
to connect
26
with
million?
Farmington and all that.
no, it wasn't quite that much.
Because wasn't Farmington on
Initially, you had to buy all the way from West Peoria to
Yeah.
Middle.
Lemon Mills.
London Mills, yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite a distance.
But now, if it's broken up, there's a possibility that you could buy individual parcels, maybe. But I'm told that there's a lot of legal issues that you'd have to go through because if Hannah City wanted to buy it all, my guess, I think the property owners right there have first right of refusal, so you'd be able to buy it for your property if you didn't want a trail running through.
But doesn't the farmer behind have rights too?
Yeah, it would probably be split between the two property owners. And then now you're talking about, I mean, can you imagine how many pieces of that puzzle there are? Because if the farm goes,
But
That's
there's,
never gonna happen.
but
Yeah.
there's some areas where people say they have owned it this whole time.
They don't though. What's the easement? 20 feet? So there's a guy that has painted all the trees. And they're like within 5 feet of where the rail would be. I'm like, you don't own that. I mean, there's no possible way because that train would have been hitting his trees.
there's people that have taken the rock and everything out and farm it. I mean, it's farmed right across it. And the railroads said nothing. They've been farming it for years.
Yeah. You don't own it though.
No, that's true.
I was gonna say at the
No,
end of the day.
and if they've had it for 10 years, they could
Eden Road there,
say
that
they
go to the township?
if they've taken care of the property.
The township would have the right to buy it?
Well,
Can they get a deed after 10 years?
I don't know if they can get a deed. They would definitely have to take them to court individually.
Yeah.
That's right. You got some behind your house.
Yeah, but see, we were always told we didn't own behind our tree line. So I never knew anything about it.
we've got farm ground all up and down it.
Yeah. So there's just, you can tell some people are real saucy about it because it's every 3 feet they're painting trees. I'm like, you're painting trees popping out of the railroad. You don't own that.
All they do over by me is come dump the yard waste.
We can keep talking, but if we don't have anything else, I'm gonna
Okay.
end the meeting.
I make a motion we adjourn.
I'll
And I
second.
second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, nobody opposed, I just.